So once upon a time in feudal Japan, there were a lot of civil wars going on, and one of the armies was invading a village. And there was a lot of plundering, and there was a lot of looting, and then there was killing, and everyone was running helter and skelter. And there was a monastery in that village, and all the monks also were running and trying to save their lives, except for one old Zen monk. He was sitting calm and very peacefully. And the general, with his whole army, he marches towards the monastery, and he enters the monastery gate, and he sees this old Zen monk sitting calm and peacefully. And the Zen monk sees the general and his army, and he gets up and he walks calmly and peacefully, greets him, and says, "Sir, what can I do for you?" The general is enraged because this old fellow is not at all scared looking at him or his entire army. And he says to him, in a loud, angry voice, "Don't you know who I am? I can take this sword and run it into your belly without blinking an eye." And the old Zen monk just continues to look at him very calmly, very peacefully, and he says, "Don't you know who I am? I can have your sword run into my belly without blinking my eye." So what does this story tell us? What is it, this story about? Some of you may say the story is about courage. Some of you may say this story is about strength or wisdom. But if you ask me what this story is about, this story is about what is true power. And often when we associate power, we see power with something, the influence that we have over external situation and people. Maybe what is power is a political leader is powerful. Maybe what's powerful is a corporate leader as powerful. Someone who has great clout, maybe somebody who has great wealth, maybe somebody who has a great following, influencers, all that we see as powerful, our ability to influence and change the world. But if you ask me, true power is about inner power, your capacity to maintain your balance, to maintain your calmness, to maintain your peace, irrespective of whatever other situations are happening outside. Maybe there's a health crisis, maybe there's a death, maybe there is a financial crisis, maybe whatever is happening, can you still maintain your calm and your peace without getting anxious and worrying? That is really true power. So how can we attain that true power, which is a power of mental stability and emotional strength and a sense of groundedness? So let me give you a metaphor. Imagine that this is an object, and I want to push this object using this hand made up of this palm and 5 fingers, and I use these fingers to push. How much strength can I bring to push? But if I close all my fingers into a fist and I hit this object, then my capacity to push this object is far more as compared to when my fingers are all separate. So what is it trying to say? It's basically saying that when you're fragmented, when you're disintegrated, then you're less powerful, your energy is dissipated. And when you're one, then there is greater power. And what is this fragmentation about? What is this disintegration about? If you really look at your mind, if you look at our mind, it is disintegrated into so many thoughts. They say we have 80,000 thoughts in a day. One thought is thinking about the past, something you're thinking about the future, you're anxious about something, you are regretful about something all the time. This mind, our mental, emotional energy is all over the place. We are totally scattered. Hence, we lack power. So if we want power, then all this mental, emotional energy, which is fragmented and scattered through so many thoughts, we need to bring it back into its source. And what is the source? Source is the sense of oneness, that sense of being, the sense of presence, the sense of being in the present moment. And what is the best way? What's the easiest way to do that? Is simple. I'm giving you one of the tools and techniques. All you need to do is Watch your thoughts, watch your mind, make a practice of watching your mind, watching your thoughts. um, it could be just sit still for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or any time during the day. Just make a practice of watching your mind, and you will notice that when you watch your mind, there is a space between you and the mind. It's like you say, I am confused, or opposed to the mind is confused. There is a space between you and the mind. And when you watch the thoughts, you will notice that these thoughts, they begin to dissolve and they come back to the source, and then there is silence. So the more you're able to be in that state of oneness, that state of space, that sense of silence within, the more power you will experience. And this power is true inner power. So I'll end with a quote from the Tao Te Ching, which says, mastery over others is strength, but mastery over your own self is true power. Namaste. Thank you.